All right, guys, today I'm going to talk about what is a verb. Okay, verb is when you describe an actions, all right? So you need to use verb. But normally we have the other word form, for example, like noun, all right? Like adjective. And another common word is actually verb. In English sentence, there are a lot of English words, and these words are classified into all these different forms. Okay, we have noun, we have verb, we have adjective, right? We have etc. So today we're going to talk about how does a verb work. Okay, so for example, if you see a verb in the sentence, okay, normally you have to understand how does it work, because normally a verb appear, it has three types of verbs from a single root words. Okay, for example, if we have a root words like watch, all right, then you shall have three types versions. Number one, the version is called simple present form. All right. Number two is simple past form, and number three is past participle form. So in simpler words to memorize it, we can call it as verb number one, verb number two, and verb number three. Verb number one is simple present form. Verb number two is a simple past form. Verb number three is past participle form. All right. Because sometimes students may ask me, sir, I'm very difficult to memorize all these word forms. Can I have a easier versions? So I will tell him verb number one, verb number two, verb number three. That's it. So if we take an example in this word watch, so in the first version we can have the same word watch, W-A-T-C-H. When it comes to the past tense forms, it shall add on an additional ed. It becomes W-A-T-C-H-E-D. Okay, that is the second forms of this verb. Okay, and we have a verb number three, because sometimes students may confuse that, oh, we have simple present tense, we have simple past tense, then we shall have a simple future tense. No, today we are talking about the word form. All right, it's not talking about tenses. All right, so there is no simple future tense. So after the past tense form, we shall move on to the past participle. Here we will have the same spelling, W-A-T-C-H-E-D. Watch, watch, watch. Okay. So if you see the word, that is a slight difference over here between the present forms and also past forms. Okay, so verb is like an ingredient, because compared to adjective and compared to noun, verb has too many forms. All right, too many additional forms that tries to tell you the situations, that try to tell you when the situations happens all the time. So it depends on the sentence situations. Okay, when it comes to this situation A, you need to use this verb number one. When it comes to this situation B, you have to use verb number three. So let's start from the verb number one, which is a simple present forms. Normally, we can find these verb forms in simple present tense sentence. So normally you can find it from the sentence that applies simple present tense forms. Okay, simple present tense forms. So normally this sentence, okay, the verbs that appears in simple present tense sentence, normally it goes around plus s and no s. Okay, with s or without s. Without s. So it bears around singular and plural. So this is the characteristics of simple present tense sentence. Okay, so you can see watch root words. Normally it may go to watch with es. Okay, singular and plural form. All right, that is verb number one. Normally we will see these verb forms in sentences that apply simple present tense. But when it comes to the verb number two, watch plus ed, we can see these commonly at sentences that apply simple past tense that tell you that the actions was already passed. All right. So normally plus ed. Okay. So that is the popular characteristics of those verb forms in sentences that apply simple past tense. The special things is about verb number 3, which is past participle forms. Normally, it applies in several ways. Number 1 is passive voice sentences. Okay, the sentences that apply passive voice may apply verb number 3, which is past participle, or another situations where the sentence applies perfect tenses. Okay. In terms of the perfect tenses, we will do another video that tells you how does it work. Okay, so here's the thing. I give you example of passive voice sentences because passive voice formulas needs you to apply the ingredient verb number 3, past participle. If you use verb number 1, verb number 2, no, that's wrong. Okay, you have to use verb number 3. That is a rule. For example, passive voice. The movie, okay, is watched by me. Basically, from this sentence, we know that this sentence is a passive voice sentence. So passive voice sentence needs you to apply the ingredients of verb number 3, which is past participle. How do you apply the past participle? You apply that verb in the sentence. The only verb in this sentence is the word watch. So you apply on that verb by adding ed. Okay. So this word watch is a past participle. Okay. It's not a past tense. Normally students may confuse, oh, this word is a past tense. I sure. Okay. But no. All right. That word is a past participle. You have to look at the whole sentence. Okay. Let me give another example for number 2, which is the perfect tense. Okay. I'm trying to use a present perfect tense in the sentence. I have watched the movie. All right. So this sentence basically use present perfect tense. Okay, let me give you a little bit information about this present perfect tense formula. So this sentence applies present. The formula goes to has or have plus verb number 3. Okay, not verb number 1, not verb number 2, verb number 3, which is past participle. Okay, so we can guarantee that this sentence apply present perfect tense. Okay, so the verb in this sentence is a past participle. All right, so that is a verb patterns, because whatever verbs, it has 3 verb form. Verb number 1, verb number 2, verb number 3. 3 phases, I can say like that. 3 phases. So all no matter how it turns, no matter how it transforms, all right, in a different form or in a different version, came from a root word, which is the watch. All right, watch. That is a root word. That is the parents of all these different word forms. Okay, that comes from a single root word. So that is how verb works. Okay. So I give you another example. Other than watch, we can have take, take. So it shall go to take, take, or takes. Okay, it falls around between these two. So it falls around here. A or B, take or taked. When it comes to the past tense form, it goes to took, tok. When it comes to past participle, it becomes taken. That is how it works. So that is how the verb works. So some student may ask us, sir, why some of the words have different spelling between past tense form and the past participle, which is this, right? Took, taken, 100% change, all right? But some of the words, all right, have the same spelling between the past tense form and the past participle form. Like just now mentioned, watch. I will do another video that tells you how does it work. Okay, because verbs is also classified into two categories, which is irregular verb and another regular verb. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.